We're rolling into week 2, and today is waiver wire day, and everybody's looking to see who they can get off the waiver wire to help their fantasy football teams. Today, we're going to look at running backs. We're going to look at a lot of running backs. It's going to be buffet style. I gathered the advanced metrics. We're going to go over the list of running backs plus some more. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Tap it with the finger on your phone. Click it with the mouse on the computer, because we're covering the waiver wire pretty much all week long. Even after it runs, we still talk the waiver wire. Guys who are trending up, just in case you got to make a pickup. On top of that, we'll deep dive the trending players off the waiver wire with the Need series. And then also, we'll use these videos to help you set your lineups. Click that button. Stop missing out. First running back, and we got to talk about him, and I think he deserves a deep dive, and he might get two. J.K. Dobbins blew up, showed up this week, and I told you guys to draft him as a lottery ticket, and he's the type of lottery ticket you would want, because after a first couple games, you'll know what you have in him, and he showed up this week. Ran, 19.6 miles per hour on that run. Had 2 runs of over 15 miles per hour. Ran 17 routes and a 48.1% opportunity share. In the offseason, the Chargers media, they were saying, hey, you're going to want J.K. Dobbins in fantasy. They're saying, hey, he's getting workload. And then we went over the clips in training camp. He popped up in a few of those when we were looking at other players. Looks like he had that bounce in his step. We saw that on a couple of those plays. He had 10 rush attempts, so the workload's kind of there for him for what you would expect for somebody sharing the backfield with Gus Edwards. Should be rostered in your league. I told you to roster him in your league, but if he's available, you're looking at him because you don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season. Charbonnet, a 31.4% opportunity share, so he is getting workload. It was a weird game script. They were up on the Broncos. 12 rush attempts, 3 targets. The game script matters here, so if this is a game script you're looking at where Seattle's going to be up, he's going to get workload. It's the cuff to Kenneth Walker. He's not going to ever usurp Kenneth Walker. Both these running backs do get nicked up. Charbonnet was nicked up in training camp. He's already shown it. Kenneth Walker was nicked up last year. They just get injured, and that's what running backs do. So if you're looking for the cuff to Kenneth Walker, if you have Kenneth Walker and he's sitting there on waivers, you want to look at him. I don't look at Charbonnet as a priority get. Alexander Mattison had a 40.7% opportunity share. The fascinating part about him is that he ran 24 routes, a 60% route participation rate, one of the highest among running backs, 6 targets, 18.8% target share. Zamir White only ran on 25% of the routes. He's going to be used in the passing game, which is something we're not used to with Alexander Mattison. We expect Dylan Labe to get that. If something happens to Mattison, those numbers will go to Labe, who's more explosive in the passing game. But Mattison deserves a look. Deserves a look due to that, and it might be scheme and matchup dependent and how things are going in that game due to the target and workflow. Zamir White's getting more of the rush attempts. So Alexander Mattison, we're looking at him right now with the small sample as a satellite back in 2024. Rico, Dowdle, and Zeke. This isn't just Rico Dowdle, but Zeke had a 42.9% opportunity share, while Rico Dowdle had a 32.1% opportunity share. That means touches and targets. So workload-wise, Zeke won, and really this is going to be matchup dependent. Rico Dowdle will probably get a lot of meaningful touches up the gut and even to the outside, but Zeke's going to be out there for pass protection. He's very reliable. It's going to be a mix. But Dowdle ran 10 routes, a 27.8% route participation rate. He did see 1 target, 8 rush attempts. So there's something here. I wouldn't go all in on it, though. Jordan Mason went off last night. 147 yards, 1 touchdown. Should have got picked up last night. If you're looking to pick him up now for a CMC cuff, you're paying out the wazoo. If you got a bid, you're spending a big-time claim for him. 147 yards, 1 touchdown. Should have got picked up last night. Bucky Irving, a 35.3% opportunity share, 9 rush attempts, 3 targets. Got the workload, got some opportunity. Coaching staff saying, hey, we like having 2 good running backs. We like this. Rachaad White can't get all the opportunity. It's the Rachaad White show. He's a good cuff to Rachaad White because they're both good in the passing game. He's decent between the tackles. He'll get some opportunity this year. If something happens to White, Bucky, Irving, next man up. Tank Bigsby came out with a 42.9% opportunity share, but this was a weird game script. They were up on Miami early in the game. They slowed things down a lot. He got 12 rush attempts, and he got some opportunity, but he didn't run any routes. He didn't get any targets. He wasn't using the passing game. That's something to monitor, and even though he got some work in this game, catching the ball in the backfield in PPR leagues is huge for fantasy football, especially for these running backs. Be leery of that. Also, be leery of game scripts, but if you're looking for rushing attempts, if you're looking for some volume, Tank Bigsby from last week, Jaleel McLaughlin ran 15 routes, almost a 30% route participation rate, and got 5 targets, so he's going to be used in the passing game. Led the running backs in opportunity share, so he got the workload, 10 rushing attempts. Is a guy that I'd be looking at as a patch-up piece off the waiver wire if he's there. He should have been drafted. We said to draft him because he was going to get work in the passing game. Looks like Bo Nix is going to be in these predicaments where they're going to be playing catch-up a lot, and he might be getting some extra targets in some of these matchups. Ty Chandler, I look at him as the cuff to Aaron Jones. A lot of people are talking about Ty Chandler. He's got 4.3 speed. He's explosive. He did have some runs called back last year that would make people more excited about him now if they didn't get called back due to penalties from the offensive line. 8 rush attempts in this matchup, so we're trending to that 10 range. Also 3 targets. We got some workload in the passing game. He is explosive. He's a lottery ticket handcuff to Aaron Jones. Samaje Perine, just because he's really on the Chiefs, didn't get that much in work rate. Carson Steele as well. 8.7% opportunity share for both backs. However, Samaje Perine got 2 targets. Usage in the passing game matters for PPR. Carson Steele got the rushing attempts. Justice Hill. We talked about him. We did a deep dive. 20% target share, 8 targets, ran 28 routes, 54.9% route participation rate. They're going to mix him in with Derrick Henry. He's going to get opportunity and work. Something happens to Derrick Henry, he's going to get a lot of work in this backfield. I don't see Keaton Mitchell coming back soon. Keaton Mitchell is an upside Will Fuller-esque play. If you don't understand that, then you better ask somebody. But Justice Hill is getting work in the passing game, and it's going to be matchup dependent because this was against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense is good, and the offense can push the pace. This matchup caused the Ravens' offense to push it quickly to the running backs and the short passes to the wide receivers and tight ends like Isaiah Likely. Justice Hill, though, is going to get work in the passing game. Ray Davis, a 13.8% opportunity share, 3 rushing attempts. He's a guy that we're watching over the course of the season. You want him as the 1B cuff in this backfield. Ty Johnson, though, no one's going to mention him. He's got burst. He's got speed. He's another running back to pay attention to. They ran the ball a lot in this matchup, but teams want the run on Arizona. They did last year, and they're going to do so until Arizona proves them wrong, and we're going to see teams do that against Arizona, so you may want to start running backs playing against the Cardinals until the Cardinals start proving those teams wrong. We got Miami coming up. That could be an interesting matchup for the Bills. MarShawn, Lloyd. We got size-adjusted athleticism. We got speed to burn. That's what you're looking at as a long-term lottery ticket. And I know you were thinking about Emanuel Wilson there, so I had to play you. But Emanuel Wilson for the now, getting touches as the cuff to Josh Jacobs. MarShawn Lloyd, long-term lottery ticket. So Emanuel Wilson for the now as the reliable play because he looks good between the tackles. He's getting it done as the cuff to Josh Jacobs. MarShawn Lloyd as the lottery ticket. If you do not know what a lottery ticket means, you better ask somebody. Jaylen Wright, long-term lottery ticket. Jeff Wilson for the now. Jeff Wilson was getting snaps and opportunity. We got the 2 running backs banged up. I'm not a doctor. I'm not talking to him. Matter of fact, they knew Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to play on Friday, if not more than likely. We did not know that. We don't know that information. We do know that those running backs are banged up. Jeff Wilson will probably, maybe, kind of, sort of, get more opportunity this week. Jaylen Wright, long-term play. 4.3 speed, fits well with the offense. Now, when I talk about the lottery ticket rookie running backs, I like him a lot, and I like the upside at the top. But his downside is he's a little bit raw as a runner, vision and all that stuff. Not 100% NFL ready. but the physical traits are there for him to go boom in this offense, and sometimes that's all you need to do to go off for fantasy football. Jamaal Williams, pay attention to him. 33.3% opportunity share. They were up on Carolina. They killed Carolina. That could be the cause for some of these rushing attempts, but he should get some goal line looks. Spelling Alvin Kamara. Kendre Miller's in the doghouse. He's always injured. They don't like that. He's also getting some routes ran. Again, this was a blowout against Carolina, but he did get some opportunity. Miles Sanders. And maybe this isn't a get, but if you're chasing opportunity share, he's got it. He out-snapped, out-touched Chuba Hubbard, getting that opportunity. You don't want this backfield, though. If you're in a deeper league, sure. But I got to go over the numbers. I got to go straight down the line here. He saw 2 targets. He ran 11 routes, almost a 30% route participation rate. And they're splitting up this backfield between the two. He's got a little pop in the step. He's back from that groin injury. That's what he was dealing with all last year in preseason, middle of the season. That popped up on the injury report. And I said this was going to be an interesting factor, how they were going to deal the touches snaps. Week 1, it happened. Miles Sanders, not a get off the waiver wire for traditional redraft leagues. If you're in a 14-team league with deep rosters, you might be thinking about it. Dameon Pierce, just a Joe Mixon cup. Joe Mixon, 30 rushing attempts. Dameon Pierce was in there getting a little bit of work. I'm not getting him. But if you're in a deeper league and you're looking for a cuff, there you go. He's in a prominent offense nonetheless. Does have some experience scoring fantasy points. Let me know who you're getting off the waiver wire this week. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.